Hi, I'm Rebecca, and this is my vlog about knitting. I live in Silverdale, Washington. I have 5 kids, 2 dogs, and a boyfriend. And this is my second take. And the reason this is my second take is because I got 7 minutes in and it was going so good and I was so excited. And then I realized that I did not have any of the content that, like, anything that I was going to show you, I didn't have it. And I was like, oh my God. I can't just like get up off screen and walk away. So, I mean, I could, but I had to go away for a while, okay? But I am back now and I am ready to talk about knitting and crafting and all of that good stuff. So I wasn't here. I mean, I was here. I didn't go anywhere. I was here yesterday, but I wasn't on YouTube because my daughter had a doctor appointment in the afternoon. And I am one of the kind of people that is like so busy or so not busy that when I have one thing going on in my life, I'm like, clear the whole schedule. I can't do anything else that whole day except for that one thing. So my daughter had a doctor appointment at 1:20 in the afternoon. So I had to go pick her up from school. I had to take her to the doctor and that was it. And then come home. And for me, like that was my whole day. Whole day was ruined. So I didn't have time for anything else. Like literally just sat on the couch all day, but that's okay. I have nothing going on today except it's a half day for my kids, like a half day because it's the day before Thanksgiving, so they're gonna be out at noon. But that's okay, we're good. So I have been crafting, but I'm not making anybody anything for Christmas. I have decided that. I set that boundary this year. It's not happening. However, I have gifts that I still have to make people that are not for Christmas. And so, but I still can't show them on here because they watch, at least one person watches. So I have one gift I have to finish up today because it has to be mailed out next week. And I don't have time this weekend to do it because of Thanksgiving. So I got to finish that up today, which I know is a really awful thing to say because you guys are going to be like, what is it? I'll tell you later. Okay. I'll tell you after the person gets it. And they watch this. So yeah, I got to finish that up today. Then let's see. So I'm doing a Christmas swap with my family, and I've talked about this before. So we're doing a homemade gift exchange and handmade, whatever. And so the thing is that we were talking about wanting to do it. We've been talking about wanting to do it for years, but the problem has always been some people are really crafty. My mom is like a master quilter, and my sister and I are really good knitters, and yeah, everybody else, they have their special things, special talents, change light bulbs and stuff. But the problem with a handmade gift exchange is that if you don't have people on the same skill level, please get that reference. If you don't have people on the same skill level, then what somebody might get like a beaded Shetland lace 1200 yard shawl, and the other person might get a picture frame with buttons glued on, you know? And so the playing field isn't necessarily even in a handmade gift exchange when some people are very, very skilled at something and other people are not as skilled at things. So to even the playing field and to make sure that everybody has fun and everybody has a good time, we set a rule that you have to make something for the person you draw, and it has to be your first attempt or your second attempt. You cannot be proficient in any way. It has to be brand new to you. And I love this because you still have to think about the person that you're gifting it to and think about what would they like and what do they want, what would be a good gift for them, and also what can I do to bring myself out of my own creative box, and what can I do to something that I could try that might turn out okay, that I've never done before. And I think it's such a fun thing. And we're doing all girls and all boys, like separate. So the boys have to make stuff for boys and the girls have to make stuff for girls, because I don't want to make stuff for a boy. I don't. What am I gonna make him? Paint a knife? I mean, I don't even know what I would make for a boy. I don't like to do that. So I only make stuff for girls. So we have a girl exchange and a boy exchange. And so I have to make something for my 16-year-old niece, and I was really excited to pick her, or to draw her name, because she is the sweetest person in the whole world. She is genuinely just the nicest person, and she will love anything I give her. She didn't say that, but I just know who she is as a person. She's going to be like, oh, wow, thanks. It could literally be a bag of crap. She's going to be like, wow, that's so amazing. So because of that, it's been hard to kind of pick. It's not like I can be like, oh, you know what she'd really like is like a cross-stitched picture frame of, you know, welcome to my house or something. You know, it's not like that. Like I can just pick something and be like, this is the thing. She's just going to be thrilled with anything. She's very sweet and I love her. And she is, she's got a lot of hobbies and interests. She's just an all-around good person. She's a nice person. So she's 16 and she's about the same age as my daughter. They're like 3 weeks apart. So that's who I have in the gift exchange. And I thought of an idea for her, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm going to show you because she doesn't watch this podcast. She is a good person. She's very sweet and very nice, but she refuses to watch me. And I feel like that's a little unkind, but that's fine. So my niece really loves music, and she is like in jazz band and honors band and, you know, stuff. And she plays like every instrument. She plays the flute and the tuba, I think, are her main things. She's very talented and very creative. So because of that, I decided to embroider her a t-shirt. I have never embroidered a thing in my entire life. My only embroidery experience is cross stitch, which I'm not doing. And I've never finished a cross stitch piece a day in my life. And I knew basically how to do a back stitch, like theoretically knew how that worked. And I have failed at making French knots. I've never actually made a French knot. It's never worked out. End of experience. That's it. So I'm like, I'm gonna embroider her a t-shirt. And so what I did, I've made several mistakes on this, okay? Like not just stitching mistakes, but like technical errors have happened here, and I have made some poor choices regarding the medium that I'm working with, but I've spent a lot of money on this, okay? And so now I'm committed to what I have done because it's been a lot of money. And yeah, I was at the craft store the other day and I saw this like little sign that you could buy, and it said crafting is cheaper than therapy. And then I laughed because honestly, have you thought about how much therapy costs and how much yarn costs, how much craft supplies cost? It's not cheaper than therapy. It's not. So if you're crafting to save money on your therapy, I think that you should put down your needles and call a therapist and find out what their rates are, because honestly, you're not saving money. I'm just going to throw that out there. You're not saving any money. Crafting is not cheaper than therapy. Does it work better than therapy? No, it doesn't actually. Unless your problems are mild. No, it doesn't. Therapy's great. You should all go to therapy. Everyone should be in therapy. It's fantastic. Anyway, moving on from that, okay, so she's the sweetest ever. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed to show you guys this because I think I'm gonna rip it out. Okay, you ready? Okay, so I got her this t-shirt. Oh, look how fun that is. I got it on Amazon because I don't leave my house. So you can see here, there's more going on. That looks so much better on the camera than it does in real life. It's barely visible in person. And so my idea that I had at first was to just do like this cute little wildflower thing, but I think I'm gonna rip this out. This is just marking, it'll go away. So I have like this little tiny, like bizarre looking dahlia flower going on. I think I'm gonna rip that out. I don't like the placement. I think I might actually move it down here. But I was gonna do like little wildflowers on it. I think I might skip the wildflowers and like do some stitching around some of the words, because I think that I could actually do that. And then if things go south, at least I'd have that. I do have, this is a t-shirt. I do have stabilizer. I did research this a little bit. So I do have stabilizer. I just have a little cheap plastic hoop that I got somewhere. I don't even know. I've already like ripped out some. I tried to do a split back stitch, and I thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't. I did it like completely backwards. Like it was like a split front. It was bad. It looked bad, it was bad, and so there's this. One of the problems that I have encountered, which if you've embroidered things before, you've already figured out, is that I picked dark gray. And dark gray is almost impossible, apparently, to transfer a pattern to. And even if you have like a little trick about like graphite paper or white chalk or gel pen, the graphite paper did not work. The gel pen, this is like very, very visible on here. It's not in real life. I can barely see anything. Oh, maybe after it sat overnight. I don't know. Not great. So this is what I have though, because Johnny Cash is awesome. I love Johnny Cash, huge fan of Johnny Cash. And so is she. That's why she's so cool, right? My kids think that Johnny Cash is the biggest loser on the planet, and that's why I don't like them. But she loves Johnny Cash, and I love Johnny Cash. So I'm very excited about this. I'm actually thinking, okay, tell me how funny this would be to like, words are hard. And so I'm kind of worried about embroidering letters, but I thought it would be really funny to like embroider some letters along the color, like song lyrics that aren't Johnny Cash's. Like let it be. Is that funny? I think it's funny. I've thought about it, but I haven't committed because embroidering letters is kind of difficult. I've never done it. I've heard it's difficult. But anyway, yeah, it's gonna be so cute, right? Just ignore that. It's gonna be cute, right? It's gonna be great. Yeah, I bought stabilizer. I bought a lot of things. A little hoop. I don't know. That's what I came up with for her. She's gonna have to like it, and if she doesn't like it, she can wear it to bed. It's actually too big for her. I bought a small, and it is huge. It would fit me, and she's very, very, very tiny. She's very petite, and so it's gonna be oversized, so if she doesn't like it, she can wear it to bed, or she can throw it in the garbage. I don't care what she does with it, because once you give somebody a gift, it is their problem, 100%, right? Okay, Advent stuff. I want to talk to you about Advent. We're already 10 minutes in, wow. So I'm going to show you guys some Advent patterns, and the thing that I want to talk about here before I show them to you is that I personally, when I'm doing Advents, I look for patterns that are not necessarily made for Advents, and hopefully something that nobody has ever thought, oh, I could do an Advent with that. The thing with that is that sometimes it's going to take a little figuring out and a little working it through. If I was going to show you patterns that were made for Advents, I would just tell you to go search Advent on the patterns and save myself the trouble. So these things aren't going to be like super easy to figure out, okay, how can I put 24 things into this? Because they're not made for 24. They're not made necessarily for the same yardage. It's things you could do if you were willing to put in the effort. Of course, you could do anything, right? Of course you can, but there are some designs that I found that I think would look really good with Advents, and I'm going to share them. If you don't like them, then don't make them. But if you're interested in using your Advent for something a little unconventional, and you're willing to put in the time and effort to figure it out, then I have some ideas for you, because I have been searching for Advent patterns for hours, like it's my full-time freaking job, and I have them on my Kindle, and I'm going to share them with you. Okay, first one, you really have to understand that I'm just showing you the pattern, but I really want you to get the vision, okay? Let's see if I can not touch it. So this is the Wonder Woman wrap. And now obviously the thing is that after you're finished making this with minis, it's not gonna look like the Wonder Woman logo. So Wonder Woman is what you're going for. I don't think that that's exactly what you're gonna get. Let's show this other picture here. Okay, see, I think that if you can reimagine this with minis, the shaping of it, I don't think it would look like a W or, you know, Wonder Woman necessarily. I think there's a lot of fun short rows in it and stripes. And if you used like more than one color for each of those little orange parts, like kind of striped it in that way, I think it would look really good. Personally, I'm not doing this, but it definitely was one of my top contenders because I think it would just look good in minis. Even if you did like the charcoal in like a, you know, main color or whatever, and then use the orange and just divided it up between your stripes. I know it's like making me really orange. I think it would look really good, personally. The other thing that I thought about making that I'm not going to is called the scrap cardigan. And this is kind of like if you saw my Advent sweater that I did last year. This is kind of the same idea. It's called the scrap cardigan, and I cannot pronounce her name. I think the last name is Vergara. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't even want to like start guessing because it would be embarrassing, but I will be linking these down below. This is so cute, I think, and I think it would look so cute in an Advent. The thing with this is that it is DK weight, and it calls for fingering weight, like mohair and DK and sport. And so it's one of those things like my Vulcan sweater where it calls for a variety of different yarns. I made my Vulcan with a DK weight Advent, but I think that a person could do the math and make it work. It calls for 1,200, 1,400 yards. I think you could figure it out if you wanted to. And so that is an option that I considered. I consider it every year, I think. It came out in 2020. I think I've considered it every year. But I haven't done it yet. Maybe I'll get a DK Advent and do it next year. I think it could be so cute. It's got mohair in it. Okay, and then the last one that I want to talk about today is called Epicenter. I think that this guy, Josh Reichs-Rabinski, I don't know how to say that. I think he's brilliant, and I've never knit one of his patterns, but I think that he is one of the most underrated designers ever. Okay, so I think this would look really good in an advent. The thing about this is that it reminds me a lot of Texture Time in a certain special way. And I think that if you can get past that, this would be a really cool advent thing to make. But I think that, you know, if you did an advent, the middle of that probably wouldn't be black. And I think that that contributes in this photo to the overall feel of the shawl. But look at it, like, don't you think that if you can ignore that, don't you think that would look really cute in minis? I don't know how many different colors and stripes there are in this. I have no idea, but it's fun. I think that a person who wanted to, I'm trying to not get my ring light in there, could make this work, right? I think it could work. So those are what I have for you today. Epicenter, scrap cardigan, and the Wonder Woman wrap. I think they could look really good in advents, but you have to do the effort and the time, and I'm not doing that for you. But those are the things that I've looked at and gone, how could I make this work with my advent? I've counted the stripes. I've been like, okay, how many, what's the weight? So I'm just the one who finds the patterns. Don't blame me. If you don't want to make them, don't make them. I haven't decided what I'm doing for my advent yet. Honestly, the Epicenter one is still on the table. It might happen. I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. But I have 31 things in my Remember and Compare on Ravelry, and I will figure it out at some points. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who loves Thanksgiving. I don't like Thanksgiving food. If we celebrated Thanksgiving food, but it was like a Mexican taco bar or burritos, I would be 100% there. Or pasta. If we had Italian food for Thanksgiving, I would be like, yes, this is the best day of the year. If it was just like we all celebrated with donuts and ice cream, 100% favorite holiday, 100%. Turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, and salads made out of mayonnaise are not my thing. Gross. It's not. I don't like pie. There's really nothing about Thanksgiving that I actually enjoy, except spending time with my family. And I've always felt that way. Black Friday, Eat Sleep Knit is having, I don't know. Eat Sleep Knit usually has a Black Friday sale. And that's very exciting. I'm probably gonna participate in that and get some yarn for my daughter, who doesn't watch this, but she knows. So that's all she wants for Christmas. And yeah, I'm working on getting advents together for my kids because I get to sit and open up a little advent every day. And so I feel bad sometimes because they don't get to. So I've started doing advents for them. I do Play-Doh for my girls. Last year I did those cheap Barbie clothes you can get on Amazon for one of them. My son, last year I did snacks and he seemed kind of sad about that. So I think that what I'm gonna do this year is like full size, like the fun snacks that you can get. I don't know, like something fun, maybe World Market or something. And then socks like that you get on Amazon that are like designs and they're really cheap and they're cheap quality, but it's fun to open and he'll probably wear them around the house. Maybe one of like those squishy balls. He's like 13, so it's really hard. I can't do 24 days of $25 gift cards or $5 gift cards, you know what I mean? Like he wants other stuff. And then my 16-year-old always gets some kind of skincare, makeup, nail polish advent from just samples and stuff that I collect throughout the year. So I got that going. I got to work on it. Yeah, I think I'm going to work on the thing that I need to work on today. And then I'm going to keep I'm not going to do the embroidery. I'm going to leave that for after Christmas because or after Thanksgiving, because I have a lot of time when the kids are in school to sit and work on that. Hopefully before December 1st. Do you think I can get it done in between? We'll see. And then I am gonna hopefully turn on like a Christmas movie or some kind of movie today and weave in a bunch of ends. I have some things that I have to weave in ends on and it takes me forever. So hopefully I can get that done today. I'm gonna keep this under 20 minutes. I will see you all another day.